A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN Super Foam Flying. And now, let's just say that we have ourselves a flagship entering the mix. One of many that we've gotten in more recent years. Here we have the Turbine CS18, the Super Turbine CS18. And I honestly will consider this to be probably one of the best that I might have ever had. Of all flagship blasters I've ever owned, this one probably is one of the best that I might have ever gotten my hands on in my whole life. Because first of all, when you really think about it, it's like a combination of that of the Stampede and various other blasters of any sorts. You probably could consider this to be the Super Stampede of them all, but yet it's probably a whole lot more than that. It comes with its own 18 dart clip, or magazine in this case, with, of course, the exclusive add-ons, which you can optionally remove, though I'm not necessarily sure if that's possible on this one. Wow, looks like I can't do that, so we're just gonna leave it as it is. And you know what? It's probably good it has its own exclusive clip, because you know what? It's kind of like when the Infamous ended up coming out with its own exclusive clip. The Colossatron CS50 came out with a 50 dart drum, which is practically sold out left and right. I mean, there's like nothing else here. Of course, you can look at this giant jam door right here, and well, this is another blaster where even with the jam door open, yeah, of course you can definitely use the flywheels when this thing's open pretty much. So it's obvious that there's no like kill switch or something that activates whenever this is open, which could mean draining the battery power a little bit more than you might expect, but then again, this is a blaster of all sorts of things that are put into play. This, of course, will take a few C batteries, which can be loaded on this side right here, undo a couple screws pretty much, and you should be able to go ahead and access it and load up the batteries, and you'll be all good to go here with some. So there are actually some pretty good flywheels for a blaster like this. And for something that used to cost only 40 bucks, I will say for sure that even then, wow, that's pretty much the whole entire clip right there. So the point is that this blaster does utilize full auto firing, pretty much, which I will say is just downright awesome by any means. The ability to blaze through an entire 18 round magazine like this with full auto firing capabilities really does make for something that you could definitely have a lot of advantage with while out there on a battlefield by any means. And I also might as well go ahead and address the loads of tack rails on this thing. It's almost overloaded, enough to rival the likes of Modulus, as I've pretty much mentioned before in various other Nerf Secret Revealed or other such media that relates to these blasters. You got one right behind the jam door, one below the muzzle right here, which of course you could use for a foregrip or a tripod or bipod pretty much, if you so choose to. You got one on each side, so that's also pretty convenient. If you want to hold yourself some extra darts, then you can do just that. But I will say that there's probably one big con about this thing, and that's, well, the fact that this stock is way, way too short for my kind of stature.